You wake up before the sun fully rises. Not because you want to, but because out here, you don't get to choose when the day begins. The cold reaches you first. It slips through the cracks in the wooden walls, crawling across the floor, climbing into your clothes, settling deep into your bones. Not the kind of cold that goes away when you pull a blanket tighter. The kind that stays with you. The kind that reminds you where you are. Your eyes open slowly. The light inside the cabin is faint, barely enough to see. It doesn't fill the room. It leaks in through thin lines between the wooden planks, casting pale strips across the floor, like something that can't quite commit to arriving. You don't move at first. You just listen. The wind whistles softly outside, pressing against the walls like it's trying to get in. It carries dust with it. Dry, weightless, constant. The same dust that coats everything out here. Your clothes, your food, your lungs. There is no escaping it. You stopped trying a long time ago. You lie on a thin mattress that barely cushions your back. Every part of your body aches, not from one thing, but from everything. From writing, from lifting, from 1,000 small acts of surviving in a land that was not built for comfort. You sit up slowly. Your back tightens. Your shoulders feel heavy. Your knees resist. This isn't rest. This is just enough strength to keep going. You rub your eyes and look around. Your world is small. A rough wooden table. A rusty pot in the corner. A few belongings scattered across the floor. No paintings on the walls. No letters waiting to be read. No sign that anything soft or decorative has ever entered this space. Just survival. Stripped down to its essentials. Out here, luxury is a dry pair of boots. Out here, a good day means you make it back to this cabin before dark. Your hands move automatically. You reach for your revolver. Pick it up. Feel the weight. Familiar, cold, certain in a way that very few things out here are. You spin the chamber. Count the rounds. Carefully. Not because you're nervous. Because counting is just what you do. Every morning. Without fail. Then your tools. Knife. Rope. Supplies. Everything gets checked. Everything gets accounted for. Because out here, forgetting something isn't careless. It's potentially fatal. Everything matters. Because out here, you don't get second chances. You stand up slowly. The wooden floor creaks beneath your weight. The cold air bites through your shirt, making your skin tighten. You walk to the door. Pause for a second. The same pause you make every morning, without really knowing why. Maybe it's habit. Maybe it's something older than habit. A moment of acknowledgement before stepping back into the world. Then you push it open. The horizon stretches endlessly in front of you. Flat plains, scattered trees, distant hills that never seem to get closer no matter how long you ride toward them. And the sun just beginning to rise. A pale golden disk sitting low on the edge of the world, painting the sky in shades of orange and rust and something almost beautiful. It looks calm, peaceful even, but you know what's coming. Heat, exhaustion, another day that won't go easy on you. The West doesn't do easy. It never has. Most people who came out here didn't last very long. Your horse waits nearby, tied where you left it. Still, quiet, alert in that way horses are. It lifts its head slightly as you approach, watching you just as carefully as you watch everything else. You step closer and run your hand along its neck. Warm, alive, reliable. Out here, that matters more than almost anything. A good horse isn't a luxury. It's the difference between making it and not making it. You check the saddle, tighten the straps, adjust the reins, run your hand along the leather, checking for wear, checking for anything that might give way at the wrong moment. Every detail matters. A loose strap out here isn't an inconvenience. It's a risk. You place your foot in the stirrup and pull yourself up. The leather creaks as you settle into the saddle. Your horse shifts beneath you, feeling your weight, adjusting, and then steadies. You give a small signal. It begins to move. The ground crunches beneath its hooves, dry earth breaking with each step. Dust rises behind you, hanging in the still morning air before slowly disappearing, like you were never there at all. The plains stretch endlessly. Nothing to block your view, nothing to protect you. Just open land in every direction, so vast and so flat that you can sometimes feel the curvature of the earth beneath you, or at least imagine it. The silence out here isn't peaceful. It's enormous. It presses on you. You ride at a steady pace. Not too fast, not too slow. Energy matters. The horse is in yours. The day is long and unpredictable, and burning through everything you have before noon is a mistake you can't afford. The wind brushes against your face, carrying grit that scratches at your skin, working its way into the corners of your eyes. Your eyes move constantly anyway, scanning, watching, always aware, checking the ridge lines, the shadows at the edge of the tree line, the movement in the grass that might be wind, might be an animal, might be something else entirely. Because out here, danger doesn't announce itself. It doesn't give you time to prepare. It's just suddenly there, a figure on the horizon, a sound that doesn't fit, a movement that shouldn't be moving. And by the time you've registered it fully, you're already out of time. The men who survived out here longest weren't necessarily the fastest or the strongest. They were the most attentive, the ones who noticed things early enough to respond. Awareness was armor. Carelessness was a grave. Eventually, you see it. A town. Small. Barely holding itself together. Wooden buildings scattered across the land, like they were placed there and forgotten. A water tower that leans slightly to one side. A main street of packed dirt wide enough for two wagons to pass each other, if neither driver is too proud to make room. These towns sprang up fast and died just as fast. Some of them built around a mine or a cattle route or a railroad stop, thriving for a few years before the mine dried up, the cattle moved on, or the railroad changed course. Then the people left. The buildings stayed for a while. Then even they gave up. This one is still alive. Barely, but alive. You ride in slowly. The silence breaks. Voices. Footsteps. Metal striking metal somewhere down the street. A blacksmith at work. Already. The smell of horse and wood smoke, and something frying in oil drifting from an open door. Life. Rough, practical, unglamorous life. People notice you as you pass. Some nod. Some don't. No one asks questions, and neither do you. That's the unspoken agreement out here. You don't ask where someone came from. You don't ask what they did before. Everyone is here because somewhere else didn't work out, or because somewhere else became too dangerous. And those are stories that belong to the person carrying them, not to whoever happens to be riding past. You tie your horse at the post and step into a small restaurant. The door creaks behind you, announcing your arrival to anyone inside. The air is different in here. Warmer, thicker, carrying the memory of 100 meals cooked in a small space over a long time. The walls are dark with smoke. The furniture is mismatched and worn smooth by years of use. You sit. A plate follows without much ceremony. Stew, bread, maybe dried meat on the side. Nothing elaborate. Nothing that would impress anyone back in a city kitchen. But the stew is hot and thick, and the bread is dense enough to actually fill you. And out here, that's not nothing. Out here, that's everything. You eat slowly, carefully, not wasting a single bite. Not because of manners, but because you genuinely don't know when the next meal comes. The West has a way of stretching the space between meals in ways that no amount of planning quite prepares you for. Around you, voices murmur. Low conversations that drift over without quite landing. Stories of fights in the next town over. A robbery on the southern road. Men who headed out 3 days ago and haven't come back. You don't join in. You've learned that the best position in a room full of strangers is the one where you're listening and they don't realize you are. Information out here is currency, maybe the most reliable currency there is. Then you stand, drop a few coins on the table, without counting them too carefully, step outside, and just like that, the noise fades again. The town shrinks behind you as you ride out, the sounds going quiet one by one, until all that's left is the wind and the hooves and the vast, indifferent land. The sun is higher now, stronger, heavier. It presses down on everything like something with a personal grievance. Your clothes stick to your skin. Your throat dries with every breath. Even the wind, which should offer relief, just moves the heat around without reducing it. The shade has retreated to somewhere small and stingy, and the plains offer none of it. Your horse keeps moving, steady, reliable. Its rhythm is the only constant thing in a day full of variables. The only sound now is the rhythm of hooves against the dry earth, and after a while, you stop really hearing it. It becomes a background against which everything else happens. You scan the horizon, always watching, always alert. Because out here you're never truly alone, even when you feel most like you are. Movement, far ahead, you slow down, eyes narrowing against the glare. A figure, riding, alone. Your hand lowers slightly toward your revolver, not grabbing it. Not yet, but letting your fingers rest close enough that the distance of the grip is nothing. A habit, like checking the chamber in the morning. Automatic, necessary. The rider approaches, slowly, silently, the way everyone moves out here when they're not sure who they're dealing with. Your heartbeat slows but grows heavier. The kind of focus that clears out everything else. No heat, no tiredness, no hunger. Just the approaching figure and the distance between you closing inch by inch. Closer now, you can see details. The hat pulled low, a long coat, dusty and worn. The posture of someone who's been riding a long time and expects to ride longer still. No weapon drawn, no sudden movements, still no certainty. But the picture is starting to take shape. Your hand rests near the grip. They pass. A glance, a nod, brief, direct, carrying everything that needs to be said. I see you, I'm not a threat, keep moving. You nod back. No words, no pleasantries, no names exchanged. Just a silent vocabulary of two people who understand the terms of this place. And they keep going, disappearing into the distance behind you, swallowed by the heat shimmer on the horizon until they're gone entirely, like they were never there. The land grows quiet again. Too quiet, maybe, the kind of quiet that makes the small sounds louder, a rustle, a snap, something shifting in the grass. Then you see it, low in the grass, still, watching. A cougar, massive, tawny, patient in a way that only apex predators can be patient, because they've never had to be anything else. Its eyes are fixed on you in a tension that is absolute and completely without malice. It's not angry, it's not threatened. It's just assessing, deciding. Your body tightens instantly, every muscle responding before your mind catches up. Your horse shifts beneath you, sensing it. And you steady it with your legs and a low sound before it can bolt. Slowly, deliberately, you raise your rifle. Everything narrows. The cougar, the distance, the wind direction, your own breathing, which you slow down deliberately, counting it, controlling it, because a shot taken while your chest is heaving is a shot that misses. You aim carefully. The crosshairs settle. You fire. The bullet strikes. The animal reacts, flinches, moves, turns, then slows, takes a few steps sideways, lowers its head, then rests, still, breathing, flanks rising and falling. Neutralized, safe, relocated later, away from the settled land, back into the deep wilderness where it belongs. You lower the rifle, but you don't relax. Not fully. You sit still for a long moment, watching, making sure. Because out here, the moment you fully relax is usually the moment something else happens. The sun begins to fall. The light softens, losing its harsh edge, going golden and then amber and then a deep burning orange that bleeds across the whole sky. The heat fades with it, retreating gradually until the air starts to carry that same cold edge it had this morning. The plains feel different now, quieter, heavier, like the land itself is exhaling after a long day of holding its breath. Your cabin appears in the distance, small, worn, sitting alone on the flat earth like something that landed there by accident and decided to stay. No grand homestead, no welcoming lights in the window, just four walls and a roof against the endless sky, but familiar. And out here, familiar is everything. You ride toward it, steady, tired in a way that goes deep in your body, tired in your attention, your alertness, the constant low-level tension of being watchful all day. You tie your horse, give it water, check it over before you think about yourself, because that's just the order things happening out here. Then you step inside. The air is still, silent, the same small space it was this morning, unchanged by everything the day threw at you. The same rough table, the same rusty pot, the same cracks in the walls that let in the same cold. You set your gear down, remove your boots, sit on the edge of the mattress, Then lie back. Your body aches. Your hands are worn, roughened and cracked from the dry air and the constant work. Your mind is tired from the hours of constant watchfulness, from a mental arithmetic of survival that never fully switches off. Outside, the wind returns. The same wind as this morning, whistling through the cracks, pressing against the walls. The same sound you woke to, the same sound you'll wake to tomorrow. You stare at the ceiling, thinking about the day, the heat, the stranger on the road who could have been anything and turned out to be nothing, the cougar in the grass, the town with its noise and its warmth and its stories of people who didn't make it. Out here, there's no comfort, no safety net, no one coming to help if things go wrong. Just you and the land, and whatever you're capable of when it counts. You close your eyes. Tomorrow, you do it all again. Most people wouldn't survive this life. Not a week of it, not even a day. The heat alone would break half of them before noon. The silence would unravel the rest. The loneliness, the danger, the relentless physical demands of existing in a place that was never designed to make things easy. These things have a way of reaching into a person and finding out what they're actually made of. The Wild West wasn't the romanticized world of the dime novels. It wasn't all quick draws and glory and men riding off into beautiful sunsets. It was hard, grinding, lonely, ruthless in a way that places are ruthless when the rules that govern cities simply don't reach this far. And yet, people came. They kept coming. From the East, from Europe, from places where the future felt closed off and the land here felt like possibility. Even if that possibility came wrapped in danger and dust and years of hard work before it paid off. Some of them built something. Some of them found what they were looking for. And some of them disappeared into the land without a trace, leaving nothing behind but a name carved somewhere that the wind eventually eroded away. The West took what it took, and it gave what it gave, and it never asked whether that trade seemed fair. So the real question, the one worth sitting with before you close your eyes tonight, is simple. Would you have made it,